Hello, hello, bonjour, Connect Hearing community. Welcome to another live session. Hopefully everybody had a really good month since I was here last. And the topic for today are the differences between hearing aid technology levels, okay? While we wait everybody to join me, hi Paul, hi Mark, hi Ling. I will be just sharing a quick thing I have been doing during this pandemic that might help you as well. I always had a habit of watching the news in the morning while having my breakfast, but as we know, things got quite depressed on the news lately, so I decided to just listen to music every day. So it just kind of get me going, and then I watching the news later on during the day, so I just feel better, in a better mood. But what I want to share that with you is because we're going to be talking about technology today, and I think music is something that a lot of people enjoy, and was very hard before when patients would tell me they enjoyed so much music, but once they had a hearing loss, they just stopped listening to music because it just didn't sound the same. Hi Michael. So what I want to share with you before we go into all the details and getting everybody ready here to watch me, music, the hearing aids had changed a lot over the years, how they treat the music sound. So nowadays, even like musicians, they like the music with the hearing aids. It's a pretty amazing achievement, I would say, with hearing aids. But still, sometimes you might really like some type of music that was more familiar to you. It might be easier to understand the lyrics. However, with the type of your hearing loss, it might not sound the same. So keep your mind open, try to listen to different type of musics. I think music helps us, it connects us so much with emotions and with your heart, and it just will make you feel more happy during the day. And you might find a different style of music that suits better your hearing needs right now, okay? So that's what I wanna share. Hi David, hello. So welcome for another live session. I will be talking today about the differences in between technology levels on hearing aids. My name is Christiane Basilio. I am an audiologist and I have a doctorate degree of audiology, and I have been working in the field for 18 years, and most of the time for Connect Hearing. So these live sessions, I think my goal is to make you guys a better consumer and help you through this better hearing, and then we're here to help you with that. Okay. Hey Ron, hi Cheryl. All right, so what I would like to start about this difference in technologies, I want to just bring it up something I had mentioned in one of my videos that was for the 5 top solutions to hear in background noise. 2 of that tips that I gave last time really applies to our video today as well. So one of them is to make sure if you have a hearing loss in both ears, we need hearing aids in both ears, okay? Probably, I think if I look at the stats nowadays, more than 80-90% of people get hearing aids for both ears. But I just want to mention, because sometimes we do have some odd patients that come and, no, I just want one hearing aid. No, that's not going to help, okay? You're not going to hear well in most of situations if you have hearing loss in both ears. That can be, that you can wear hearing aids, okay, in both ears. So that's one of them. But the second one that I want to mention before we go deep into the technology levels are the styles as well. So regardless the technology level you choose, if we don't choose the right style of hearing aid, a hearing aid that provides you enough volume, that is powerful enough maybe for your type of hearing loss, you won't be able to hear it well in noise or even in quieter environment, okay? So it's very common for people to think that a hearing aid like this size compared to this, you might think that this one has way more technology than that, but that's not the reality, okay? You can have the same technology with the little one and the bigger size, Okay, so that's very important that I would like to mention because we get this question quite a bit. Once we select, okay, you might need a behind the ear, you might need a custom tip, or you might need a dome. And that decision will be all based on, of course, your lifestyle, the degree of your hearing loss, the type of your hearing loss. So that's the first decision really we need to make when we decide to purchase a new hearing aid or get hearing aids for the first time. Once the technology is chosen, once the style is chosen, then we can start discussing about technology, okay? So you might know, might not know, but the hearing aids usually how it works is it has a microphone, of course, built in them. They can have 1 or 2 microphones. So for example, the little guys, they just have 1 microphone, they're very small. And then all the other styles you can have with 2 microphones, okay? So the sound is picked up by the microphone. The sound is sent to a computer chip. So a hearing aid is a mini computer, and this computer chip will process the sound that's going in the hearing aid. Then this signal is sent to amplifier, sent to the receiver of the hearing aid that will send the sound to your ear, and then the sound signal goes to your brain, and your brain processes the sound. So it makes sense what the sound is going in, okay? The difference in technology of the hearing aids is all about the computer chip that is inside of the hearing aid. All the other parts are exactly the same, okay? So that's why I mentioned that this one can have exactly the same technology as that, okay? So it doesn't matter the look of them. So when we are choosing the technology level, it will be really more based on your lifestyle needs, okay, the environments you're gonna be at most of the time and the situations you're really looking for more help. And then as well, it will be based on your hearing type of your hearing loss, okay? Because sometimes if you, some type of hearing aids, you might have problems with feedback, or you might not be able to have enough power, so we need to select that, okay? So what I would like to share with you today is what is different between these technologies. There's so much information out there, and sometimes it's hard to understand so many details, right, and features. And the way I thought about doing my talk today is I divided the features that are available in all level of technologies and the features that are available only on the more premium levels. So all hearing aid manufacturers, they have three to four, I would say, different levels of technology, okay? So they will call from a standard, advanced, and a premium, okay? And some of them have a basic level as well. I'll focus on the three main ones, so the standard level, the advanced, and the premium, okay? So let's start talking about features. What are features available in all of them? And that might help you as well with your budget. Decide, okay, I might can get a standard. It might be enough in my case, okay? With the discussion of your hearing profession, of course. But one of the features that all hearing aid have is the noise reduction, a noise canceling program. Okay, so all of them, it depends on the type of noise around. They are going to attenuate. They're going to reduce the noise, trying to help you to hear better speech, okay? It doesn't improve, as I mentioned on my last video, the clarity of speech, but it kind of improves to help what we call the signal noise ratio. So more speech and less noise, and that helps your brain. So all the level of technologies have that noise reduction, but the performance of this feature will change between the levels of technology. And I'll talk more about that when we go for more to the premium levels, okay? The second feature that I wanna talk about it is the hearing aids, they are synchronized. So all the hearing aids now, they can, when you adjust the volume in one side, it will adjust the other side automatically. So you might just touch one button in the right side, but your left side will be adjusted at the same time, okay? So they synchronize the button, the manual control, so you can change your volume or you can change the programs, and we keep them balanced. Sometimes, I don't know if some of you might have a big difference between the ears, between the hearing levels. That feature might be not the best in those cases, so we can disable that feature as well. Okay, but overall, it's a very good feature for most of people. So the other feature that all the technology level have is they call it auto acclimatization. Hopefully I said that correctly in English. But this feature, what it does is when you first get hearing aids or you maybe got a new technology, we will select the volume that will give you a good audibility, right? Not always you can handle it, all of it. So not always we can set you at 100% and here we go. We might need to start a little lower. So we might need to start around 80%, for example. If that's the case, we can turn it on, this feature that automatically will adjust your hearing aid to a higher level. And then we can choose, do you want this to happen within a month, or we might want this to happen within 2 months? Okay, so I was actually thinking about this feature now in the time we are living in, because the numbers of COVID is so high, we don't know what's gonna happen during the winter. So if you get hearing aids now, it's something we should turn it on in case we can't see you right in a month or so from now. So it's a really good feature that available in all hearing aid technology levels, okay? The other feature, I will talk about the microphones. So they have 1 to 2 microphones, as I mentioned. So when I mention about the microphones, it means one microphone will be omnidirectional microphone. So you pick up the sound all around you. And the other microphone is gonna be more a directional microphone. So most of hearing aids will have that, just not the very little ones. But all the other styles have 2 microphones, okay? And the directional microphone, it's here to help, again, improve speech and reduce the background noise, okay? So that's the ideal. What is different between in different technology levels is how they function. Okay, and I'll talk more about that. But all of them will have the 2 microphones. And you might need to change manually in some cases. In some cases, they are automatic. So I will talk more about that soon. Okay, but it's a feature involved in all technology levels. Another feature that a lot of people they are stunned that this feature is available in all hearing aid technology is the Bluetooth feature. Okay, all hearing aids now have a Bluetooth feature on them. So all of them you can connect to your phone, hands-free, or you might need something around your neck, but most of the newer ones you don't need anymore. You can connect to a tablet, to a computer. So I get some patients in the office saying, I don't want this hearing aid that has so many things, Bluetooth, but Bluetooth is available in all of them. We can enable or not enable if you don't want to use it, but it's not what makes the hearing aid more expensive anymore, okay? It maybe was in the past, but not anymore, okay? And what it comes good about all this Bluetooth technology as well, not related to Bluetooth technology actually, this feature I would say that's available in all the technologies as well is the remote support. So we can connect your hearing aids remotely. So in case there's another lockdown or something, we can adjust your hearing aids remotely. Okay, so that's also available in all technology levels. Okay, and the last feature that I want to talk about that is available in all levels of technology is the automatic program. So all hearing aids, they have an automatic program. What that means? It depends on the sound that the microphone is picking up. The hearing aid, when it sends to this sound processor inside of the hearing aid, the sound processor will choose, is this sound a speech? Is this sound is noise? Is the speech far? Is the speech close? So they're kind of gonna detect which kind of sound is going in. And then they're going to send the sound to what I call as destinies, okay? So you have, for example, in the very basic hearing aid, you will have a program within the automatic program. So you have, for example, a program that is going to be on when you are in a quieter setting. Then the other program is where maybe you're in a coffee shop, so there's a lot of noise and speech is happening. And there's another program where you're just walking on the street and there's not much speech around you at all. So the hearing aid will put the sound that's picking up within one of those destinies, okay? All of them can do that. But what it changes with the technology level, we have more destinies, okay? So there is more environment that, not environment, destiny, I will use the word destinies. So there is more situations, let's say, that the hearing aid is available there to be more precise when they select which situation that hearing aid should be at that specific environment, okay? But all of them are automatic somewhat, okay? So those, yeah, I think I went through all the features that all of them have. So you might be surprised, like even the standard level has all this level of technology on them. And I didn't mention in the beginning, but of course, all of them can be adjusted based on a prescription, correct prescription for your hearing loss, okay? So it doesn't matter which technology level we get. Are we doing good? Hi, Brent. Hello. Welcome as if your first time. So now I'm going to change to the features that are available just more for the advanced and the premium levels, okay? So talking about the microphone. Remember I mentioned, if you just joined, we have two microphones on the behind the ears, on the in the ear styles, okay? And they have this directional microphone. What is different from the more advanced or premium technology is these microphones, they are gonna be more adaptable to the environment, okay? So when we get something that's more standard level, they are fixed. So let's say if your hearing aid detect that you were in a coffee shop, so there's some noise, automatically change it to that directional microphone. But when you get something that's more the standard level, they are more fixed. So you might need to change yourself. You might need to position yourself in a better way so you have that microphones facing to the correct way. When we get a more advanced on a premium level, they adapt and they work. The four microphones work together. Okay, so that's one of the main differences as well. So the more basic styles, the two microphones work together separately. Two on the right ear, two on the left side. But when we have a more advanced, a premium level, the four microphones talk to each other. So they can, of course, get a better precision there on detecting the environment you are and selecting which amplification that should be added in that environment, okay? One thing you might not realize is when we're listening to things, when you're hearing things, the sound that your right side pick up, your right ear pick up the sound is sent to our brain, right? And our brain that processes everything. So that sound is processed on the right side and it crosses over here on the back in our brain to the left side as well. So this is a major milestone, I would say, on the newer, on the more premium levels of hearing aids, because they kind of trying to mimic how our brain works. So instead of having the two ears treating the sound separately, they communicate to each other. Okay, and that's why you should perform better when you're in a more challenging listening environment, okay, when there's more noise around you. All right, I forgot, I want to mention something about the directional microphone. I think that's a very important thing for me to mention to you. When we have the behind the ear hearing aids, and I'm going to put it in my ears, and I want to show you something here. So when they sit on your ear, they need to sit not, let's see if you can see, not too, let me remove from my hair here, not too high and not too low, okay? Because the microphones, they have to be, it's kind of, they need to sit on top of the ear, and is the angle compared to your pinna that will help the performance of the microphone. So if the hearing aid is sitting too low, what some people feel, oh, I feel my ears, I feel the hearing aid, I want to have the wire longer so they can sit lower, that's not a good thing, because then your microphone is going to be pointing towards the sky. So it's not going to help you to understand and hear your noise for sure, any situation really. And if they're too short, like here, they're going to be pointing more towards down that way. So it's also not going to be pointing towards the speech is happening, okay, and the sounds overall. So they need to have a proper location behind the ear for you to get the best performance of directional microphones, okay? So, okay, we got that. We understood what is different on directional microphone. The other feature that it works differently when you get a more advanced and a premium, that is the noise reduction, okay? Remember, I mentioned the noise reduction available in all technology levels, and it will be very helpful even if you get on a basic model. They help more what they call the attenuate, I would say, better for stationary type of sound. So more like a white noise type of sound. And the hearing aid, when there's a lot of people talking at the same time, that can sound like a white noise, right? Because there's no meaning. So like everybody talking at the same time. So the hearing aid will detect that as a noise, and then it's just going to attenuate that, okay? The noise reduction features that is available more on the advanced and premium levels, they are adaptive. So they will be based on just not on the stationary sounds, but also the spatial noise. So they can reduce the sound faster and a bit more aggressive, and improving that speech in noise ratio. Better speech, less background noise. Okay, so they can do that. So they're we call them as a more dynamic. Okay, and even includes now on the very latest technology, they have this motion sensor feature that this dynamic noise reduction is working in conjunction of the movement of your body as well when you're walking. Okay, so that's quite a bit of a difference there. But it's important to know that the basic has some type of noise reduction as well. Okay. So that was the second one I had here in my list. The third I want to talk about it is a feature that improves soft speech, for you to hear better soft speech at a distance. So one of the challenges with hearing aids is when the sounds are very low. So let's say maybe the humming noise from the computer, for example. We don't want the hearing aid to be increasing that volume too much, right? So hearing aid can reduce that sound so that doesn't bother you during the day. But sometimes, depends on the technology level, that reduction that does automatically, it might affect the soft speech sounds as well, okay? So one thing that is more advanced hearing aids, they do now, the advanced and the premium level, they can detect, because they detect better the environment you are, and they detect better the type of sound, okay, the frequency of that sound and the intensity of the sound as well. They can detect that that's a speech. It's not like a humming noise. So they are going to increase that automatically. They're going to give a boost on the soft speech sounds if it is at a distance. So if you're home, that you are reading here, your husband is reading, 3 meters away, you will be able to hear better that way. Okay, so that's another feature that quite interesting. The other feature that they have is also related to that, but is, I'm sure everybody here that is watching me have the very, when there's a loud noise. So for example, I think dishes is one of, we hear the most, especially the men when they come to the office, they say, oh my God, my wife is making me crazy when she's putting the dishes away, right? Because they're very sharp and very teeny. But one thing that they have a feature on this advanced and premium levels, they can reduce that sounds that is more like a aggressive type of noise, like they relax that sound. But the difficult thing about that is a lot of these sounds are within the higher pitch sounds, higher tones, where we need to keep them amplified for you to understand better speech, because most of the time we have a high frequency loss. So without this feature, if you come back to the office and you say, I cannot handle this higher pitch sounds in the kitchen, for example, we can reduce the volume and the higher frequencies, but then it might affect the speech sounds as well. Okay, so this feature that is available on the more advanced and premium, it separates better the level of the intensity of the sound, because of course maybe a speech and the fork sound when it knocks on the plate, for example, it might be about the same range, but the level of intensity of the fork on the plate is much higher than a speech, for example. So because they can separate that intensity of sounds, they can reduce those sounds without affecting speech. Okay, so pretty neat as well. I see someone mention about being more natural. Yeah, so all of these features make the sound more natural, right? At the end, that's what it results to. Right? It's just a more natural sound. One more feature, two features. One more that I want to talk about, the advanced and premium, is they have a feature to improve and reduce wind. I was just practicing yesterday to talk with you guys about this, and I was like, I don't think that any feature of the reduced wind could help us yesterday here in Vancouver. We had like 70, 80, 90 kilometers per hour of wind yesterday. So we need to be realistic, right? It's not because you have the premium level that improves and reduces the wind noise. In a day like yesterday, nothing would help. Okay, so but it's not, of course, of our typical day, but they do have this wind management as well. So if you are someone that does a lot of sports, you like to run or biking outside, that's a good feature definitely to have on your hearing aids to make you more comfortable with the wind. Okay. And the last one that I want to talk about that's this feature, was about the automatic program. So remember I mentioned they all have an automatic setting, and the sounds will be sent to different destinies. Okay, so if it's quieter, with our hearing aids is going to amplify more certain type of sounds, less type of sounds. If there's a speech, it's going to go to a different destiny, and that's all happening automatically. Okay, so the hearing aid is just selecting which program they should be at in that environment. With the difference between these automatic settings, from the more entry basic level to a more advanced and premium level, they have more destinies to choose from. Okay, so I just got a hearing test here. So I'm sure if you had a hearing test, you would have seen that. It's just a graph, and you see there's so many. These are just the frequency channels. Okay. So when we get something that is more a hearing aid that has the more advanced or a premium level, they have more channels. Okay, so they give us about more flexibility when we are fine tuning your hearing aid, and all these features that I mentioned, they are within every single channel, so it becomes way more precise when they if it's time to act or not, if it's time to switch the microphone or not. So all of this is happening automatically or really fast. Okay, so it's not something you notice them changing the microphones. Something we used to. Okay, I remember quite a few patients, depends on the degree of hearing loss, they used to feel when the microphones were switching, but that doesn't happen anymore. The computer chip in the hearings had improved tremendously for that. But having more channels, they can also do a better job in detecting the environment you are, in selecting which program they should be at, and you basically don't need to do any adjustment manually. Okay, so I hope that gives you a good idea of all the features. It's a little complicated sometimes to go over them without showing, maybe reading or understanding and learning the name of the features, but I want to give a good idea what is available and what are the difference between them. And I think my other goal for this talk as well is to show how much features a more standard hearing aid have as well. Okay, so some people just have in mind, I'm gonna only hear well if I have a $7,000 hearing aid. that might not be the case, okay? I think you're gonna hear well, much better with a hearing aid than without a hearing aid. And then knowing the limitations perhaps of the technology you had to choose because of your budget, or you might felt that that technology was good enough for your lifestyle, okay? I just wanted to encourage you to try something that is definitely better than not having a hearing aid when you have a hearing loss, okay? So, very good. I see a lot of people watching me. Hi, Dolores. Hello. Hi, Mike. So I'm going to open for questions here. Yeah, Annie, that's right. It's more natural. Let's see if we have any questions. I had a couple of questions that people sent by email, but I'll see if anybody posted any question here. I don't think so. Okay. So let me check here on my emails. At least I can share with you some questions. Okay, there was someone asking about a bone conduction earbud, I believe, headset with Bluetooth. This question, of course, is not related to hearing aid, but I just want to answer that we do hear, you might, I don't know if you remember when you did your hearing test, but we hear through air and through a vibration of our skull. Okay, so what it has nowadays out there is we have hearing aids as well that is inserted here on the bone, but just for certain type of hearing losses, more specific. But there are some headsets that they do now that is that you hear through the vibration of the bone. Okay, and they are Bluetooth. So yep, you can hear with them as long as you have a good hearing as well. Okay, depends on the hearing loss you have. That might not work for you. Okay, but that exists. Okay. Let's see if I have any other question here. Don't think so. Nobody ever sent me another question. So my big thing here today is to prepare you when you are going to choose your technology and your style of hearing aid. When you go to a hearing clinic, always think about it. What are the situations that you want to help? What are the main environments that you are struggling? Because that will help us to kind of discuss what are the technologies and what are the features you might need for that situation, okay? And yeah, and just help you to be a better consumer. But thank you. I don't know. Let's see. I see someone maybe post a question here. Oh, I have a cord hanging from my neck without a rectangular metal thing. There's a mini phone size. Can I use my hearing aid without it? You can. That is Mrs. Rain. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You were probably talking about the Bluetooth that you can put around your neck. You don't need that for the hearing aid to work. That is just an accessory that you can control the volume of your hearing aid. And you can also connect to Bluetooth devices, okay? But the hearing aid can easily perform without that. So you don't need to have that around your neck all the time, okay? There is Paul is saying that he's having some trouble with the recharging dock. Sometimes doesn't charge. That's great you brought this up, Paul. Some of the hearing aids, if you purchased the rechargeable hearing aids last year, they do have an upgrade that we need to run that in the office, okay? So we need your hearing aids to update the software in your hearing aids, and that is fixing the issue with the rechargeable batteries stability, okay? Not everybody had that problem, but some of the units had, but it's a very easy fix. We can just update the software in the office. So Paul, take it back to the clinic and we can do that for you, okay? Let's see, when I'm doing yoga. Oh yeah, Rain, you don't need that when you're doing yoga. That's for sure not. Okay, so there is Rod is asking, my hearing aids are supplied by DVA, and he mentioned about if it has a premium. So most of the third parties, they supply the advanced level, what is already a really good level. You have the option to apply and see if they would cover the premium. but that's what you usually get. You get the advanced, okay? Hey, Rick Molstad, love seeing you. Let's see. When listening to music on my iPhone, I find the music cuts out, especially when I go for walks. I don't know which Bluetooth you have. Some of the Bluetooth, let's see. No, he didn't answer. Some of the Bluetooth depends if you have the ones that goes around your neck. It could be just the antenna that we can replace that antenna, or maybe it's not attached properly. Okay, that usually does that. Some accessories for Bluetooth as well, they might need to be right in the middle of both ears, because if you move, they might lose the connection that way as well. Okay, so I'm not sure which, but the one that has direct connectivity, it doesn't happen that. So we have, how often can I get a new hearing aid test? My first one was in November 2018. Excellent question. I think we all should know that we should have a hearing test once a year, okay? Between 1 year and 2 years. So if you had a test 2018, I would say it's time for you to have that rechecked. Within a year, we don't expect change, and it might not change even in 2 years, but it's important to have at least a screening, a quick checkup once a year, because if there is any little change on your hearing degree, we can update that into your hearing aids, okay? And all to help you the sounds to be even more precise as well, okay? Yeah, so I think we got most of questions. I don't know if I have anybody. One more. I already answered that question. I think we got all of them. Service provider. This is from Mrs. Murray. I bought new hearing aids, Phonak, behind the ear with the domes in Ottawa in June. Do you think I should upgrade now? No longer live in Canada, and I would have to be shipped to my audiologist in Ottawa. So you got when? Let me check. You got in 2019. You still have a bit of time. If it's about a year, correct? Yeah, so it depends. I don't know. If you're having any problems, if you got the rechargeable, you might need to send to us so we can upgrade that. But if everything's going well, maybe on your next visit, make sure you plan that and come back for a full test again, okay? Okay, I'm gonna ask one more question. Dolores, Oregon. My 4-year-old aids are based or on a standard level. Would new ones at that level be better as a result of the newer tech? Definitely, okay? So one thing they had improved a lot is the technology, even on more the basic technology. Yeah, you will, if it's like a 4-year-old, if you get the 4-year-old newer on the standard level, will definitely be better than the ones you have. No question about that. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think I got most of questions. Very nice seeing you here. I really appreciate. I want to say hi to my some very special patients that have always been here with me. Rick, Michael, and quite a few other ones. I will tell next time. But I appreciate your time, and hopefully I'm helping you understand better about hearing aids and how improve your hearing. And stay safe, stay connected. It's not as windy here today, so it's a bonus. Hopefully you have a very good next month, and I might be talking to you again close to Christmas time. But have a good day, and yeah, all the best, okay? Bye-bye.